Vegas Raiders. Seems like we were just starting training camp, but here we are in October, and off we go on EA Sports.
And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape up past the 30.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10.
First carry for the former Pro Bowler, Josh Jacobs.
5 yards on the game's first play, 2nd down. This defense for the Broncos, they were excellent in that win over the 49ers last week.
I have to admit, I was extremely impressed by what I saw on tape because they stayed in the face of the quarterback the entire game, ended up getting 4 sacks total, and made it difficult for him to step up and find receivers downfield. Also made it hard for him to escape the pocket and run.
The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. Here's Carr.
A quick throw there going to be batted away and incomplete.
Textbook coverage right there. Played the ball, never lost sight of where it was headed, and stayed in perfect position to make a play on it. Able to keep the receiver and the quarterback in his sight lines.
Carr. Got a man open. It's Darren Waller. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. A big 3rd down conversion with a gain of 28.
Normally on 3rd down and short yardage, you're thinking of throwing to your tight end. It's just going to be a simple chain mover. But this time they let him roam down the field, and a nice dart picks up the 1st down and then some.
So they move from 136 over to the other as they come up on 1st down. Here's Carr to throw.
Well, that's into a sea of bodies, and it's intercepted.
Picked off by Kareem Jackson.
And the Broncos are going to have it here at their own 15.
So far this season, this defense has had their issues against the pass, so that's a great sign for them to get the early pick.
Yeah, confidence builder for them and an absolute shock for the quarterback because he went into it. He saw the numbers we saw. He watched them on tape. I think he came into this one thinking this is going to be a big day, and it very well could be. But early in this one, advantage defense.
Bringing him down defensively, Jayon Brown. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. A first carry now for Chase Edmonds. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a 1st down.
How best to describe that one? I'd say right down Broadway on that run.
A straight-ahead running. I think that might be something we see a lot of between the tackles today.
Well, he's enjoying things so far here this afternoon. Sees a crease and bursts through it for a solid gain.
They'll set up the screen. This is Williams. And some room to work. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
And that was a beautifully executed screen pass. He let the rushers get upfield and get the escorts in front, meaning the offensive linemen, other blockers out in front, completed the pass beautifully. So now you get all that open space with big guys leading the way.
And that is incomplete. Oh, the coverage a little too good there, and it's 2nd down.
Against a team coming off a win just as your team did the previous week, you talk about being physical all game long. Sometimes being physical is just being on the spot and helping force the incompletion.
2nd and 10. It's Wilson again.
That's out to the flat for Edmonds. And he'll be brought down just shy of the 40.
And they'll use him out in the backfield and sometimes quite a bit. They're just trying to get him touches any way they can. 4 catches a week ago. There's another one right there.
Throwing again here. Wilson. He's got his 6'5 receiver. That's Tim Patrick. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. Give them 22 there on the 3rd down conversion.
So here's a 1st and 10 now, down inside the 20.
Edmonds running out of the shotgun. And he'll be out of bounds about a half to a full yard shy of the 5. Another good gain. That's now 35 yards combined on those last two plays. That O-line, they cleared a big hole there on that run.
The athleticism of offensive lines continues to evolve, and we're seeing it here. Not only are they controlling things right at the line of scrimmage, but they're able to get upfield to get to what we call the second and the third levels. You know, get to the linebacker spot, the secondary spot, getting all the way downfield with their blocking, which helps keep the running back clean.
They'll try to continue that trend here this afternoon.
How about that? Red man coverage and decided to test them early. But they proved up to the task and forced the incompletion.
They come up here with another shot from the 6-yard line, and it's second and goal now. From the gun, it's a run for Williams. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Denver score.
His 5th rushing touchdown on the year, number 9 overall. And the Broncos are on the board first here in Vegas. Well, he finishes off the drive with a touchdown run, Charles. Remember, he also had a catch on this drive as well.
And that's what running backs want to be in today's NFL, a complete back. 3 downs, stay on the field, run it, and catch it. And he gets it done.
McManus's point after is good, and it's now a 7-0 game. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away.
From way up at the 23. Yeah, they'll be set up pretty nicely here as they have it up to the 35-yard line. The offense for Las Vegas about set to begin the drive. They threw an interception the first time they had the football, wound up leading to a touchdown the other way. How do you approach drive number 2?
Going back to your game plan coming in, everyone has matchups that they like better than others. Where they think they have an advantage, dial up some of those plays. Try and go to those spots and get your offense moving.
So a 1st and 10 now in Denver territory, right at the 40. Carr going to give it to Jacobs. Room here to run. And he's going to get this inside the 30. Give them 12 yards that time, and a Las Vegas first. Charles, they won last week despite him not running the ball well. They told us need to get him going. Runs like that help.
And they talked to us about leaning on him because, as you noted, last week they didn't have to. Still won the ball game. They leaned on other people to give them the yardage that they needed, but they really want him to be that guy, and that's what they're doing early in this game.
On 1st down, they go with Jacobs again. Pat Surtain up to make the play. The Raiders at 1-2 through the first 3 weeks of the season. And they got off to the tough 0-2 start, but come off a very important first win of the season last time out.
And it's tough when you find yourself at an early season crossroads, but that's exactly where they were. At 0-2, they were thinking if we fall to 0-3, things can spin out of control. But now at 1-2, they shouldn't feel the need to press out there. They're now back in a good spot, find a way to win some games, and keep moving forward.
After an incomplete pass on 2nd down, that'll leave them trying to convert on 3rd and 9. Able to find Waller. That's complete. And he'll be out of bounds about a half to a full yard shy of the 5. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Carr going to throw. Toward the pylon, caught. Touchdown. Hunter Renfrow, his 2nd touchdown on the season.
And the Raiders are an extra point away from evening this one up.
Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And we are tied at 7. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away.
Phillips, he's not going to bring this one out, so they will begin the drive at the 25. Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. Early on, you know, Charles, every game could be called a measuring stick game, but I think when it comes within your division like this, it's a measuring stick game with a little extra intrigue.
I would agree with that totally, because all division games have a little extra to them. But I like where this game is situated, because at this stage of the season, it has that little extra juice, but at the same time, it's not a make or break if this were, let's say, week 15, 16, somewhere in that neighborhood.
7-7, our score after one. On second down, this is Edmonds. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4. Now the Broncos are going to call the first of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. On third down, Wilson. Man open, he's got it complete to Courtland Sutton. And he will have a Broncos first down as they're able to get the third down conversion. Now a first down carry, it's Williams. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. Second down.
Well, that's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
Oh, I saw this one with defensive eyes, because even as he escaped the pocket and bought time, the coverage stayed tight. Nothing broke down. Throwing it away, that was his only option.
They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on second down. Play action. Now Wilson. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
Now that's a good bounce back after giving up a touchdown on the opening drive. Just 1 first down permitted and then out. Obviously no loss of confidence with that defense, and now they get to turn it back to their offense.
He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. And they'll get to this and touch it. Looks like, yeah, right at the 15-yard line here. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And they'll be looking to build off of a nice drive last time, a drive that really relied on the quarterback.
Making good decisions, distributing the ball well, distributing it accurately, keeping it away from danger. A really nicely run drive.
But now the defense, what adjustments do they need to make in the passing game?
Pass rush, pass rush, pass rush. Whether it's the guys up front or maybe
trying to get it to Adams, but it's intercepted. Picked off by Pat Surtain. And the Broncos are going to take possession of the football. Before we came up to the booth, last thing he said as we were walking off the field, want to play mistake-free football. Well, that just went out the window there with a pick.
And do you remember what you said to me when we were walking up to the booth after he said that? You're like, oh, fatal last words every time.
And he'll take it into the end zone for a Denver score. Courtland Sutton, 40 yards. And the Broncos have moved out in front. Extra point from McManus is good. And that makes the score 14-7.
14, Raiders 7. Brandon McManus to kick off for Denver.
After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. From way up at the 23. And able to get this across the 20, but not much further as he's dropped at the 23-yard line. The Las Vegas offense ready to start this next drive. Well, still early in this one, Charles, but the last time this offense was out there, they threw their first interception of the ball game, so trying to avoid repeating that mistake here on this drive.
And to put a positive spin on it, at least it happened in the first half and not in a close game in the fourth quarter, but you're absolutely right, partner. One of the last things this offensive quarterback wants to witness again in this game.
Kind of an obvious question, Charles, but anything you try to avoid after your first pick, or you say it's one interception, we're still in the first half, I'm going to do the same thing?
I think you want to avoid playing scared, and put it into the mind of the quarterback that you've lost confidence in him. Make sure you get some throws that he's going to be able to complete, make him feel good about himself, and continue to run your offense.
A gain of 3, second down.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up, found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
Carr's throw taken in by Adams. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. So a 1st and 10 now in Denver territory at the 49-yard line. From the gun, it's Carr. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And they're going to get this down to about the 37.
I think that's a big pickup for a first down because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a first down, executed it to perfection. Here's Jacobs on 1st and 10. And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11. We've hit the 2-minute mark of the second quarter, 14-7. Now 38-yard line, 2nd and 11. Now Carr. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off by Kwan Williams. The 20. And he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Bronco defense has a touchdown. It just appeared there that the defense, they had that read from the moment the ball was snapped. And not only do they get the interception, add a nice return on top of it, all the way to the end zone for a defensive touchdown.
Yeah, and the guy made the play. He gets the points. But it really was a group effort, wasn't it? How about the coaches? They've got to be so excited. All the preparation, time in the film room, it translated into a big play that put points on the board for their team.
And they're going to wind up with pretty good starting field position as they get it up past the 35. The offense for Las Vegas about set to begin the drive. They're sort of seeing themselves spiral out of control. Let's see if they can get things back on track.
And this is where the coach is walking that line of being calm and really being firm with his team. I had one tell me once, when we're having a tough patch, this too shall pass, this too shall pass, and finally we kept having a rough patch. He said, but you got to do something to make it pass, and that's what they have to do. They've got to get some control back, get themselves reasserted, and calm things down.
See if they can get calm and reassert themselves here. The completion, but they go in the wrong direction. A loss of yards, and now they're dealing with a 2nd and long.
We'll put that one in the win column for the defense. Trying to contain tight ends in the passing game is so difficult nowadays, but they did in a big way there.
Throwing again on 2nd down. Carr. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
To this point, I've been impressed with the work defensively. They have not allowed a lot of receivers to run free. And there's another example, another incompletion.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. He's got a man open. It's Hunter Renfrow. And this is going to be another 1st down as they'll make the tackle at the Broncos' 22-yard line. Carr to throw again. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Pat Surtain. And the Broncos are going to take possession here at their own 16-yard line. Well, CD, when you mentioned earlier about spreading the ball around in this game, I don't think you mentioned the guys in the other uniform. With 4 interceptions here in the first half, and several different guys have picked him off.
Yeah, and instead of analyzing what's going wrong with him, throwing the football, while we look at the defense, they came in prepared, had excellent game plan, well scouted, and they're taking it away at almost every turn.
They lose the yardage, and of course they also lose the down on the grounding call, and it's quickly 2nd and long. Now a run straight ahead with Edmonds. And he'll push forward here for a good little run as the clock continues to run. Call it a pickup of 7 on the ground. That turns it to a 3rd and 15 situation. So we come upon halftime with the visiting Broncos taking the lead in the locker room. As we are off to Orlando now to check in with Jonathan Coachman and our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach? Welcome you back now. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, getting set for quarter number 3 here. Broncos with a lead, and they will be receiving this kickoff here as quarter 3 is underway. Here comes Darius Phillips out of the end zone. And he's able to get this across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down officially at the 21. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. As this offense takes the field to begin the opening drive of the second half, Charles, remember in that first half, good through the air and really all around an outstanding offensive performance.
Absolutely. They reached the end zone several times. The passing game working awfully well, and most importantly, partner.
Yeah, they went to the tunnel with a lead. They come back out with that lead.
Absolutely. NFL coaches, we know they're perfectionists in a lot of ways, but they had to like what they saw in that first half.
And he'll maneuver his way forward for about 4. 2nd and 6.
And that was a quality play to start a new set of downs. That was simply an offensive line winning the battle up front and winning in a big way and giving their guy in the backfield a nice lane to hit.
From just shy of midfield, Wilson on the slant, completes to Sutton. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle comes at the Raiders' 37. 14 yards that time for number 14. So here's a 1st and 10 now in Raider territory at the 37-yard line. Meanwhile, this one knocked down in the backfield. It's incomplete.
I think he's as fine with that incompletion as a quarterback can be, in all honesty. He avoided his first sack of the game, and he did have a chance of connecting for yardage, just unable to on that throw.
On 2nd down, Williams. It'll be a pickup of 16 and a Bronco first down.
That's pretty much meat and potatoes right there, wasn't it? Just go right at them and let your big horse charge up the middle. Not too fancy there, was it?
Nothing fancy at all, challenging that defense. And on that go-around, the offense won the challenge. Now left side on the swing pass. He'll head out of bounds inside the 10. Mark it down at the 9. Back-to-back nice plays. 12 yards that time and a first down. On the handoff, it's Edmonds. They'll get this halfway home from the 8 to the 4 on a gain of 4.
And now defensively, you have to look at this like the game's on the line. It's just the 3rd quarter, but another touchdown given up here could really spell an end to their chances, so they need to toughen up and keep them out of the end zone.
2nd and goal from inside the 5. Wilson, he's going to keep it. And he'll get it down close to the goal line, but not quite in. He'll wind up getting 3 on the keeper there, but it leads to a 3rd down. offense.
And he's not going to get there. That won't even be close. It was blown up in the backfield. It's a loss of a full 3 yards, and it brings up 4th down.
Brandon McManus on the field goal. On 21 yards.
The kick by McManus is good, and they will open things up a bit more. It's 24-7.
Well, they picked up right where they left off in the first half. First drive after the break, they come away with 3 and increase that lead.
Yeah, and you just want to keep building on that lead, don't you? Whether 6 points or 3 points, take everything you can get, keep maneuvering, keep adding to it, keep making it difficult for them to come back.
23-yard line.
The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on? And now here's another interception. Picked off by Kwan Williams.
And the Broncos are going to take possession of the football. Well, still down quite a bit here, several scores, but yeah, at least that's a start, Charles, getting the interception here. And look, we're still in the 3rd quarter, so this thing not done yet.
You're right about that, Brandon. This defense, they haven't quit on this game. They stayed with it and got an interception and handed the ball back to their offense. And what you wonder about is a team that just threw.
Yeah, this is caught by Sutton. Touchdown, Broncos. A great play there with his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Broncos are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. McManus's point after is good, and the lead is now 24.
Brandon McManus to kick off for Denver.
After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away.
From way up at the 23. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line.
At their own 29-yard line.
The Las Vegas offense ready to start this next drive. I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start.
And my goodness, another interception.
Picked off by Josie Jewell.
And he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Bronco defense has a touchdown.
And, Charles, for this offense, those interception woes they kind of had in the first half have now followed them into the second half. And for this defense, they take advantage, turn that into a pick-6.
And that defense is in a spot now where they're thinking about ways to close this game out. And as confidently as they've been playing, I expect them to do exactly that.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick-6. And now the kick is away.
From way up at the 23.
And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30.
At their own 33-yard line.
The offense for Las Vegas about set to begin the drive. Well, we haven't exactly been treated to a nail-biter in this one, CD, and if they cannot score here, this one's pretty much all but over.
Are you saying that you feel like people are starting to think about getting out of here and maybe beating the traffic in order to get home or to their final destination?
Yeah, I don't think there's a whole lot of reason to hang around, especially if they can't score here.
Yeah, you're right about that because it has been pretty clear who the better team has been in this one. And in a league that we talk about every game being a one-score game as we go into it, watching this blowout, let's just say it's been unusual.
Carr and the Raiders following the sack, looking up at a 3rd and long. Now a play fake. Carr. And now here's another interception.
Picked off by Pat Surtain. And the Broncos are going to take possession of the football. Well, to be blunt, not a whole lot has gone right for this defense in this ball game, but that's something right there. Still in the third quarter. It would take something around miracle territory for a comeback, but maybe that's a start, Charles.
It certainly is, and they're definitely showing that there's some fight still left in them. Hasn't been a banner day, but they're trying their best to put that disappointment behind them and find ways to make plays.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Wilson. And he's wrapped up. Taken down. Back at the 25.
Finally hauled down for the first time this game. Multiple defenders in there to drop him.
Now Charles dealing with a 3rd and long. They'll have to try to go back to the air again, and this time avoid the sack.
Certainly hard to try to establish momentum when all you're doing is going backwards, not protecting the passer, and he gets dumped on his backside.
On 3rd down, they run with Edmonds. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. And the attempt at 3 will have to come from the other end of the field as time has run out on this 3rd quarter. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. And we'll begin it with a field goal try here. He hit his first. Now this from 43. The kick by McManus is good. And that will extend their lead even further.
Well, ultimately not really sure that they're going to need those 3 points, but they'll take the 3 and they pad that lead.
Yeah, this one's already wrapped up, but you and I both know if you're an offensive coordinator, you never let up on the gas unless the head coach tells you to do so. And maybe you've actually clicked him off in your headset so you can keep calling plays and trying to add to this lead.
After splitting the uprights, McManus to kick it away.
From way up at the 23.
The Raiders take over 1st and 10 at their own 21-yard line.
The Raider offense set to get this drive started. They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time to call your playmakers together and say, all right, guys, we're going to lean on you through this patch. We need you to get us back on track and get us going in the right direction. So you're calling plays geared to them. Not necessarily to look at your plays, oh, this hurts the defense. I want the ball in the hands of X, Y, and Z and see if we can move forward.
So don't get too cute. Go to the playmakers. That goes for a gain of 31. So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. Now Carr. And he's got his man on the out route.
And he'll be marked down right at the 20-yard line.
First and 10 at the 20-yard line.
Into the red zone, it's Carr. And it's complete to Adams. Touchdown Raiders. Davante Adams with career touchdown number 75.
And the Raiders get a small measure of revenge as they cut into this 4th quarter deficit.
Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And the lead drops from 34 down to 27. On is the Raider kickoff unit now as they will send this one away.
Phillips now from the end zone. And in hindsight, probably should have taken a knee as he only gets this out to the 16-yard line.
The Broncos onto the field ready to start their next drive.
But not that any of the points would be needed, but CD, they've got enough time left here. They could definitely score on this drive, maybe even an ensuing drive as well, if they really want to drive home this landslide victory.
Yeah, we're certainly about to see just how aggressive they want to be here down the stretch. And what some coaches do is they try and meet it halfway, meaning they want to continue to run their offense, but they'll put in a lot of backups to do it and then tell the opposing coach, hey, I had to get them some work too. I can't just let them sit over on the sidelines all the time.
One play has him to the 37 here for 1st and 10. They go play action with Wilson.
And that's going to be caught by Sutton. He's got room at the 30. Now he's loose again.
Touchdown, Broncos. Making a hat trick for Russell Wilson. 3 touchdown passes now.
And the Broncos are looking to make it 2 straight as they add on to this 4th quarter lead. So still throwing here in the 4th quarter with a pretty sizable lead, and now that lead even more sizable. And if nothing else here, CD, a chance to pile on some stats before this one wraps up, and he did just that.
Brandon, convention tells us it's time for them to get off the gas a little bit, right? But you and I both know the receivers don't want them to because, as you noted, this is their chance to pile on the stats. If they got their way, they try to get every single spot in the depth chart points before this game is over.
After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away.
From way up at the 23. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape up past the 30.
First and 10 at their own 31-yard line.
The Las Vegas offense ready to start this next drive. The football changing hands here as this offense takes the field. Charles, they'd be fine with more of the same on this upcoming drive. Last time out, they found the end zone for 6.
And they're certainly hoping for more of the same, but the game plan, I doubt it'll just be a carbon copy of the last drive because I think this offense is ready to break out some new wrinkles and try some new things that might be hidden in their playbook. They want to use that confidence to its advantage while also keeping the defense from anticipating what's up next.
And he will not get away from the pressure here. Carr taken down.
Baron Browning able to get in there for his 2nd sack of the afternoon. So now Carr and the Raiders dealt a 3rd and long after that sack.
Back to throw. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by Kwan Williams.
And the Broncos are going to take possession of the football. Well, they've got the huge lead. Now they have another interception on the defensive side. Seems like everything they touch in this one, Charles, turns to gold.
And they have to be awfully happy right there to get what appears to be one more for the road and help seal away one of their best efforts of the season.
And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9.
50 yards on the ground for him now on 9 carries.
Another example of this offense really having their way, Charles, and another big chunk play there on the ground.
And when you look at the defense, they've got to do a much better job of wrapping up when they tackle. A lot of great opportunities continue to slip through their fingers, as do the runners.
To throw is Wilson. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
Well, their passing attack, even though that one was incomplete, has been really sharp in this one. It's resulted in a lot of touchdowns, and it looks like they're not going to stop throwing the football until the very end of this one.
Well, that will certainly make everyone involved on offense pretty happy because that gives them all a chance to pad their stats a bit. But as far as the actual need, you and I both know they can just run this clock out because this one, it was over a long time ago.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. On the screen, this is Edmonds. And he is going to lose yardage here. They call it a loss of a yard there. And that's going to bring up the 4th down.
I know we saw the pass and the completion and obviously the resulting loss of yardage, To me, that play broke down with the blocking on it. Because if you're going to try and swing it that far outside, that blocking's got to hold up to give your guy a chance.
And the defense, they weren't fooled at all.
No, not at all. Boy, were they aggressive on that one.
The kick by McManus is good, and that will extend their lead even further.
So they got the turnover, started with great field position, but in the end, the defense able to hold firm, and they only get 3 out of it.
And I like what you said right there. That defense able to hold firm, backed up into the shadow of their own end zone. Goalpost right behind them. They had to make sure they didn't give up the 6. And, boy, they came through in a big way. To them, even though they gave up 3, that's a win for their side.
The offense for Las Vegas about set to begin the drive. They have a little bit of time left here, but this one not going to go their way.
And this is where, in this situation for me, you just go ahead and run out the clock, shake hands, congratulations, and move on. Because now, you're not going to make up for what's happened during the game in this last sequence.
We'll see what they do here in this last sequence. Back to the air on second down. It's Carr. And that is incomplete. 16 seconds now on the clock.
Nice back-to-back plays defensively. They're stacking momentum now. 1 incompletion, 2 incompletion. They're going for more.
Throwing his Carr on third down. Looking left side, and it's complete. Past the 20. And he's across for the touchdown. Too little, too late, but he does get in for 6.
No wonder you're grinning. You just beat me in our fantasy league.
Indeed I did, my good man.
And CD, they just haven't had a whole lot to cheer about here, but it may be cliche, but give them credit for this. They've continued to fight and scratch and claw, and they get the touchdown here in the 4th quarter.
And I'm okay with that cliche, all right? Maybe it'll alleviate the sting a little bit, because at least they can look in the mirror and realize they fought all the way through. Horrible game for them. Not one they'll watch and remember. At least they'll keep their heads up and have some pride when they leave the stadium.
Extra point by Carlson, up and good. As they make the score just a slight bit more respectable here in the final quarter of play. On is the Raider kickoff unit now as they will send this one away.
Phillips now from the end zone. So that last kickoff, just a mere formality, obviously, Charles, wrapping up